What about? Why is there two? The fuck is this? Where is this shit, my nigga? What the fuck? Nah, شنو؟ شو دا اسوي بعد؟ سنيوف bro. It was like a bit too. I need to be like that, bro, cause actually hurting the shit out of my eyes. The ecosystem. That's good. Like a plant. Oh, grass. Cows eat grass. Like snake. Foxes. Oh, so 10%. Oh, a model that shows how energy passes by from organisms is called food chains. Organisms at the very start of food organisms at the very start of a food chain that can create organisms useful are known as photosynthetic producers. Fuck, you're right. Which two of the following groups of organisms are producers? Plants and algae. Which research do plants not compete for? Which research do plants not? Dude, plants. Oh, plants. Fuck. I thought that's animals. What do plants if you don't produces? Tertiary. Okay, I got that correct, man. It was just as energy passes along the food chain, most of the food is lost. Energy. Which is the secondary consumer in the following food chain? A tree, a caterpillar, sure. What is a predator? An animal that hunts and kills other animals for food. An animal that hunted and killed. An organism that is killed and eaten by a predator is known as. Wait, an organism that is killed and eaten by a predator. Prey? Oh yeah, that's correct. The diagram above shows the predator-prey cycle between snakes and rabbits, increasing, decreasing. As time x, at the time x, the number of predators is decreasing because there's a lot of prey. I don't know, man. At time y, the number of predators is because there's less prey. So whilst there's less prey, the number of predators is decreasing. At time z, the number of prey is decreasing because there are now more predators. Consumers are organisms that eat secondary. Tertiary, some shit. Fuck my tertiary, fucking bitch. Tertiary. Finally, bro. Trophic levels. The idea that trophic levels are just the different levels of food chains, the name of each trophic level, example, producers, primary consumers, etc. The difference between herbivores, the carnivores, and omnivores. How detritivores break down dead organic matter and recycling nutrients. The eagle. Okay. What? Able to photosynthesize or get glucose from the sun and make their own food. Always. Herbivores always eat a producer with like a plant or algae. Secondary consumers, second level of consumers. The energy increases. Is there any? It's crazy, I can't lie. Oh, I got 110. The 1 joule only? Just like if they want to get more energy, why don't they just eat the grass? Like apex predators. What? Why? No, it's my money. Why summer? Why? Can you give me something to eat, please? Anything, please, 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 please. Give me something to eat, summer, please. Please. Yes. Oh, okay. General. Okay. It's more. It's very good. What term is used for stages in the food chain? Trophic levels, trophic steps is crazy, my nigga. What is a name used to refer to the trophic level highlighted in the diagram above? Trophic level 1, trophic level 2, primary, secondary, tertiary. What the frick? Primary? Oh yeah, apex predators. My nigga, I didn't even like fucking press continue, bro. What is the name used to refer to the trophic level highlighted in the diagram above? Primary. What was the name used to refer to the trophic level highlighted in the secondary? What trophic level contains secondary consumers at over level 3? What do the arrows in the food chain show the transfer of energy and biomass? What is an omnivore? Organism which eats both plants and animals. Was a herbivore, an organism who eats both plants and animals. What must be true of a primate? It eats plants or algae. While our food chains usually no longer than 5 or 6 today, they are future predators. The predator will have too large only to put energy biomass transferred between each level. What's the decomposed animals that's found on the water? Organisms that produce biomass refer to organisms that breaks down dead organisms. Organisms that breaks down dead organisms. Which of the following are often decomposes? Bacteria and, and fungi. I mean worms, nigga, like not fungi. Okay. Small animals like wormwoodlids that help break down organic matter in small pieces are known as detritivores. Oh yeah, they're not decomposers, they're detritivores. Bacteria. Pyramids of biomass. Biomass is just the mass of living organisms. Our pyramids of biomass show the amount of biomass at each trophic level of the food chain. Why the amount of biomass decreases as you go up the food chain? How to calculate the efficiency of biomass transfer when below between levels in this food chain. Tertiary. That's true. In each level decreasing. Much way more than each level. You. Most of the units use animals that absorb used to release energy into and urea. the next level divided by. That's literally just how you calculate percentages. 50 divided by 144 times 100. 72, 3, it's like 5 over 30 units. It's like, I don't know, 0 0.9. So 0 0.9, 0 0.7 something, 0 0.7 to 0 0.8. Oh yeah, because I have to minus it from 100. Fuck. I can't like it so long. Why would we need to calculate the efficiency to all get it? What does each bar in the pyramid of biomass show? The number of organisms that represent the biomass of organisms that of level dynamic. Roughly what proportion of energy biomass transfer between each top is 10%. Which of these is not true when drawing pyramids of biomass? The primary consumers at the bottom bars must be equally spaced around the midpoint. Where are all spaces on the pyramid biomass at the top? Where does biomass of an organism refer to? The mass of an organism. Biomass refers to organic material that comes from living organisms such as plants. The image above shows the biomass refers to the organic material that comes from. The image above shows a pyramid biomass which trophic levels as represents as apex predators. The image above shows a pyramid biomass which trophic levels producers. As a primary consumers, and then after that, secondary. Which of the groups below is not shown in the pyramid of biomass decomposes? It's feasible where only 10% of biomass is passed down. Most energy is used for respiration, hence it's wasted. Animals don't usually eat the entire body of the prey, only some parts, and some parts they eat doesn't get absorbed and the body excretes it as feces. Organisms don't normally eat at every part of the body, examine yourself, okay? Some of the materials they may not be absorbed, okay? Most of the biomass energy is used to release energy via respiration from movement, okay? Calculate the difference of biomass transfer between trophic level 2 and trophic level 3. Trophic level 2, trophic level 3 around 38 over 3, 40. 8 over 3, 40. Fuck again. Trophic. Trophic is not trophic for around 4.2. Must transfer between trophic level 1 and trophic level 2 and your ass up to 1 decimal place for 5. 120 0.09. Oh yeah, cause fuck. My bad, my bad. Oh yeah, my bad. Why substances that carbon won't have to be recycled? The steps of water cycles and steps of carbon recycled. Someone's dick? Subhanallah. Water. Evaporate. Oceans, rivers, also water on land. Like puddles or just soil, water. Evaporation of water even from lithium, like transpiration. Mm. Becomes water vapor in the air. It can be blown from one area to another. But can sometimes fall back down as liquid water in the form of rain. Precipitation. Oh, okay, that's easy. Right. Humans. Air, air, plants, soil, air, plants, soil, fossil fuels, and humans. Animals. Wow, it's actually useful. All of recycling nutrients important for living organisms because the nutrients living organisms used to grow as it provides the nutrients that living organisms use to grow and reproduce. It provides the nutrients that living organisms use to grow and reproduce. The water cycle. Water from lakes, rivers, and oceans, soil evaporates to the water and into water vapor and rises to the atmosphere. Water can also evaporate from plants in a process called transpiration. As water vapor accumulates, it can condense to form clouds. Like later, the water will fall as rain, which we call precipitation. So, the water from the lakes, rivers, oceans, and soil, and potentially plants evaporates into water vapors and rises to the atmosphere. The sun first points at the evaporates goes to the atmosphere. The water can also evaporate from plants through transpiration. Later, the water vapor in the atmosphere accumulates and condenses to become clouds. Later, the, wa- the clouds get reformed somewhere else and will go back to water and by dropping water on the land as rain, which we call precipitation. The water will then seep in the soil, flower into the rivers and lakes, and be taken up by plants. The whole cycle then repeats over and over. Which statements about evaporation is correct? Evaporation is this process of liquid water turning to water vapor exchange states during air. Okay, that's true. Evaporation is energy. No. Evaporation is endothermic, not exothermic. What happens to water during condensation? Liquid turns into water vapor. Water vapor turns into liquid vapor. Water vapor turns into ice liquid. Uh, During condensation, liquid turns into what? Wow. Condensation. What happens to water during condensation? That is mad. Condensation water which collects at drops or cause of when human areas in contact with it. Conversion of vapor or gas to liquid. So called. Oh, condensation is from gas to liquid. Liquid to gas is melting. Oh my days, I'm so stupid. Gas to liquid is condensation. Which process in the carbon cycle removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? Which process in the carbon cycle removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? Photosynthesis. Which three processes in the carbon cycle release carbon? Which three processes in the carbon cycle release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere? Respiration, breathing, decomposition, and combustion. Which carbon-containing compound do plants produce during photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide. Oh yeah, produce because carbon dioxide takes in and they produce glucose which contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay. Why is it important that there is carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? Carbon dioxide is needed for photosynthesis, plants need for respiration, animals. Which organisms decompose dead organic matter? We didn't learn this. Fungi and bacteria. What statement of evaporation's root is requires energy? It's from gas to liquid. Which carbon containment is glucose? The different processes involved in the nitrogen cycle. The different chemical form. The different processes involved in the nitrogen cycle. The different chemical forms nitrogen takes throughout the nitrogen cycle. The names and roles of different microorganisms involved in the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle overview. The nitrogen describes how nitrogen is recycled within an ecosystem. It covers the movement of nitrogen between the air, soil, and the organisms in the environment. The nitrogen cycle also looks at how nitrogen is converted between different chemical forms by different processes as it moves throughout the cycle. The nitrogen cycle is quite complex. It can be easier to learn if you think about it in 5 different processes: nitrogen fixation, nitrification, decomposition, assimilation, and denitrification. This guy looks trustworthy. Elements on the planet are recycled between the living world and the living world. That's true. It's found in DNA, proteins, amino acids, and vitamins. Use this bitch. Nitrogen fixation. Let me draw it out. Uh, the nitrogen gas. It goes into the soil and produce nitrates in a process called nitrogen fixation. It goes through the soil and bacteria. Okay. Over its nitrogen fixation can also occur when lightning strikes the ground. Nitrates can be used by plants to make proteins and other structures. Gotta go. Gotta draw a card real quick. هذا اللقاء ولا تنبه اعتصم. What the fuck is that hump, bro? هذا اللقاء ولا به اعتصم. ساري القوافي ساري. Stupid. Feeding. Death. Excretion by plants or animals. Nitrites. I didn't do nitrates. I'm back to nitrate. Which is caused by nitrifying bacteria. Nitrates could also nitrates can go back to. Well, this is actually a hard subject. Nitrogen gas through the denitrifying bacteria. nitrogen fixing uh, bacteria converts nitrogen gas in the air to nitrates. Lightning also does this. Decomposing. Decomposing bacteria convert proteins from dead organisms and urea into ammonia. Converts proteins from dead organisms. Can I say excretion rather than urea? Fucking say urea. And, and urea to ammonia. And then nitrifying. Nitrifying bacteria. So bacteria is doing the whole, like most of the work. Convert this ammonia into nitrites and then nitrates. Into nitrites and then nitrates. Denitrifying bacteria converts nitrates back into nitrogen. Thank you. Back to cognitive, please. Nitrogen fixation is the process by which atmospheric nitrogen in the air is converted to nitrates and ammonia in the soil. Nitrogen fixation happens two ways. Lightning converts atmospheric nitrogen directly into nitrates in the soil. Via nitrogen fixing bacteria, these convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. Ammonia. Nitrogen fixing bacteria are found in the soil and also in the roots of some plants. Okay, that's correct. Nitrification is carried out by nitrifying bacteria in the soil and consists of two steps. Wait, let me read that again. Nitrification, otherwise known as Right. Nitrification is carried out by nitrifying bacteria in the soil and consists of two steps. Ammonia in the soil is first converted to nitrates, and then the nitrites are converted to nitrates. Is that correct? Okay. Assimilation is the process by which plants absorb nitrates and ammonium ions and use them to create biological molecules such as proteins. These biological molecules form parts of the plant's tissues. This is how nitrogen enters the food chain, and when animals eat plants, they assimilate these nitrogen containing compounds, example protein, in their own body. Decomposition occurs when decomposers feed on the waste excretion of animals and the rotting corpses of dead plants and animals. During the process, they convert urea and proteins into ammonia. This is important because ammonia in the soil and ammonium acids, which is one of the few nitrogen-containing compounds plants can absorb and assimilate. Note that some of the ammonia produced by nitrogen fixation is also converted to ammonium ions. Example, mark schemes often allow both ammonia and ammonium ions to be used interchangeably, so don't worry if you find it tricky to remember the difference. But what about the nitrifying bacteria that takes these ammonium ions to convert them into fuck it. Denitrifying bacteria. Denitrification bacteria in the soil conveys nitrates back into the atmosphere. Nitrogen ionification is bad for plants because it means there are fewer nitrates in the soil, reducing the amount available for the plants to absorb. Nitrogen cycle summary and recap. Don't worry if you find nitrogen cycle, just read the following summary of the key points. Try to reading this lesson again. Nitrogen cycle summary. Both plants and animals need nitrogen in order to survive, but neither plant or animals can absorb the nitrogen in the air. Atmospheric nitrogen. Animals get their nitrogen from digesting plants or other animals, and plants must get the nitrogen from the soil, either as nitrates or ammonium ions, two chemicals that contain nitrogen. This process of nitrogen fixation and the nitrification will cover how atmospheric nitrogen gets converted to nitrates. This happens either as a single step via lightning or via multi-step process of nitrogen fixation and then nitrification. Yep. Carried out by nitrogen fixing bacteria and then nitrifying bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria is what connects nitrogen gas in the air to converts nitrogen gas in the air to nitrates. Uh, okay. And then separately to the above, decomposes break down the decomposing bacteria, break down plant and animal waste to produce ammonia. This ammonia then reacts to form ammonium ions which plants can absorb, and the animals feed on the plants. Plant absorbs nitrates and ammonia ions from the soil and use them to create essential biological molecules such as proteins and DNA. This is a process called assimilation. Assimilation is when plants absorb nitrogen and ammonia from the soil to use them to create essential biological molecules such as proteins and DNA, and it's how nitrogen becomes part of the plant's tissue and enters the food chain. At the same time, as well all of the above, some of the nitrates in the soil are being converted back to atmospheric nitrogen due to the process of denitrification due to denitrifying bacteria. Denitrifying bacteria converts nitrates back into nitrogen gas. True or false, nitrogen fixing bacteria are found in lightning gas. Frick! Oh, not nitrogen fixing. I mean, nitrogen converts nitrogen directly to nitrates. Frick. What's the name of the process that converts ammonia to nitrate, nitrite, and then to nitrates? It's called nitrification. Which is the name of the process that converts nitrates to atmospheric nitrogen? It's called denitrification. Which process describes how plants use nitrogen to build biological molecules that the plants then incorporate into their bodies, called assimilation? And which two places are nitrogen fixing bacteria found? Nitrogen fixing bacteria are found in the soil and in some roots of the plants. Nitrogen fixing bacteria is correct, are found in the soil and in some roots of the plant. True or false, plants can absorb atmospheric nitrogen. False. That's the only reason this whole fucking thing exists. The microorganisms responsible for converting atmospheric nitrogen to ammonia. Ammonia are called. Wait, the microorganisms they're called nitrogen fixing bacteria. I know, decomposing bacteria. Nitrogen fixing? Okay. The microorganisms responsible for converting atmospheric nitrogen to ammonia. Ammonia as piss me off. True or not false, using fixing bacteria are found in light. False. Lightning converts atmospheric nitrogen directly into nitrates. The microorganisms responsible for converting atmospheric nitrogen to ammonia. Ammonia ions are so-called nitrogen fixing. For converting atmospheric nitrogen to ammonia. What is the greenhouse effect? How it causes global warming? The difference between global warming and climate change? Some of that. What the frick? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Damn. Like carbon dioxide or hydrogen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait. Mm-hmm. Fuck. The hell? Effects of global warming and the climate. So as fuck. Mm-hmm. Oh fuck! I almost choked my water. So it's expired 2026 February. Oof. Oh yeah. Oh shit. So sad, bitch. Yo, how do we solve that? We gotta solve that shit, bro. The layer of gases surrounding atmosphere. I'm getting every single one of these questions correct. On God. Which three of the following are greenhouse gases? GHGs, methane, carbon dioxide, and water vapor, bitch. Fuck. Solar, from the sun passes through solar. Oh, radiation, of course. Yeah, maybe. I think. From the sun passes through the atmosphere and hits the earth. Some of this energy is absorbed straight or reflected straight back to earth. Some of the stress is reflected straight back towards the space, while some is absorbed by the earth and then re-emitted towards space. Some of the re-emitted energy makes it all the way to space, but much is absorbed by small molecules called greenhouse gases. Man, fuck greenhouse gases, bitch. Like, only the bad ones. These molecules then re-emit the energy, and the whole process of absorption and emission can happen over and over again. This trapped energy keeps the atmosphere warmer and more stable than it would be otherwise be. The molecules then re-emit the energy, and the whole process of absorption. True or false? Until now, the Earth's atmosphere has always been the same. Fuck no. What's the very difference between global warming? Oh, so global warming is just how the Earth is warming up due to the greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide or methane that humans excessively produce, while climate change is like the result or the consequence of this global warming. Includes stuff such as wait, uh, more common floods, hurricanes, and droughts, and increases its severity, and etc. and etc. Global warming refers to the overall increase in interest in temperature as a consequence of global warming and refers to the effects on such as global scale shifts and weather patterns. I got this so correct on my days. One effect of global warming is the melting melting of ice caps. This will increase the volume of water in the ocean and could lead to seasonal floods. Submersion expands. Flood. Okay, I got this correct. I don't care. I got this correct. What's the difference between the climate and the weather? I don't give a fuck. I ain't getting this wrong, bitch. Okay. Oh, I get it. Weather is just short term and how how the atmosphere is. On the other hand, climate is like the long term state of the atmosphere. Which of these is the impact of climate change around the world? Species in affected areas may become extinct. I don't care. I got that correct, man. Melting, flooding instead of floods, bitch. Expands. I don't care. I got that correct, bro. Fuck you guys, bitches. Why fertilizers are needed in agriculture? Some negative environmental impacts of fertilizers. What? I'm gonna go rest for a bit, bro. Shit, just hit TP. I'm I'm gonna read a bit. I'm gonna read a bit of Quran until for like I don't know, just for a bit. سورة البقرة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على الهدى من ربهم أولئك هم المفلحون إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدون في الأرض قالوا إنما نحن المصلحون ألا أنهم صفنا ألا أنهم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم سفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا وإذا خلوا إلى شياطينهم قالوا إنا معكم إنما نحن مستهزئون الله يستهزئ بهم ويمدهم في طغيانهم يعمهون أولئك لهم الذين استغفر الله أولئك الذين اشتروا ضلالا بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. That's it. That's it. So, only the first page and like the on like this like the small first page of like Surah Al-Baqarah. I fuck with that trade. Zero Jordan, 145 pips running, zero Jordans. I fuck, I love that. I love that shit. I could have gone at $12 honestly, but like it's fine, bro. 100. Ah. 'Alright, come on, time to study. Back to study. A fertilizer is a substance that is applied to soil in order to supply plants with nutrients. Why do we need fertilizers? In agriculture, fertilizers are added to soils to replace lost nutrients. Crops take nutrients from soil in order to grow. When crops are harvested, these nutrients are moved and do not return to the soil as they would in a natural ecosystem. Nutrients are also lost when livestock or animal products are removed because animals absorb nutrients from the plants that they eat. If livestock are removed or slaughtered, these nutrients are replaced through the urine, feces, or the remains when they die, as they would be in the natural ecosystem. I don't get this. Nutrients are also lost when livestock or animals' products are removed because animals absorb nutrients from the plants that they eat. I don't get this, bro. NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Most fertilizers are made of a mixture of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium compounds. This is because they are the three main elements plants require from soil. Don't they need water, nigga? Fertilizers can have negative impact on the environment. Fertilizers can negatively impact waterways due to two related processes, leaching and eutrophication. Leaching. Fertilizers don't always stay in agricultural fields. Leaching occurs when nutrients and fertilizer are washed out of the soil by water, for example, by rain or irrigation systems. Nutrients from fertilizers leaching from the rain stimulates rapid growth or decay. Then leaching just nutrients from the fertilizer that goes to water. Okay. While fertilizers provide plants with more nutrients and they can use, leaching becomes more likely because the excess inorganic ions are washed away. Leached nutrients often wash into waterways such as rivers and ponds, and this can result in eutrophication. Wait, let me read that again. When Fertilizers provide plants with more nutrients than they can use. Leaching becomes more likely because the excess and organic ions are washed away. These nutrients often wash into waterways such as rivers, and this can result in eutrophication. Eutrophication, eutrophication is a process. It's caused by excess nutrients that have leached into waterways. Maaf. عادي. عادي هسه. Good night. Okay, mineral ions, nitrates leach into lakes and rivers where they stimulate rapid growth of algae. Wait. Mineral ions, such as nitrates, example, leach into water rivers where they stimulate rapid growth of algae. The growth of algae of the water surface blocks light from reaching the plants below. The lack of light prevents the plants from photosynthesizing enough, causing them to die. Sad. Decomposers feed on the dead plant matter. The decomposers use oxygen to aerobically respire, so as the number of decomposers increases, the oxygen in the water is depleted. Very low oxygen leads to dead freaking fish. The lack of oxygen in the water causes fish and other aerobic organisms to die. Wait, the decomposers use oxygen to aerobically respire. Huh, I want to get this. The decomposers use oxygen to aerobically respire. So as the number of decomposers increase, oxygen. Okay, now I get this. What is the process by which fertilizers get into the waterways? By leaching. In the process of eutrophication, leaching of mineral ions into the lake and fertilized nets can cause a rapid growth of algae. Algae. This blocks light from reaching plants growing below the surface and prevents them from performing photosynthesis. This causes the plants to die, and the bacteria that feed on the dead matters are called decomposers. Decomposing bacteria. As these bacteria increase in numbers, they use up the oxygen in the water through aerobic respiration. Low levels of oxygen can score called saprobiotic. I did not know this shit. Saprobiotic. I mean, saprobiotic bacteria can possess saprobiotic bacteria or bacteria that are typically soil-dwelling and usually supporting. Okay, okay, that's an honest mistake. In biology, what is the cause of putrefaction? Excess nutrients in the waterways. Let me see the process. What's purification again? It's caused by it's a process. It's caused by excess nutrients. Okay, nigga, that's literally like how's that definition? During the process of purification, what causes the algae in the waterways to grow rapidly? What is the leaching? Dissolved ions flows through the soil into the waters of the water. And what order of the events is eutrophication? Sunlight explodes and bacteria digestion bad plants using excess nutrients get washed into rivers and sting animals go animals in the water die due to. So the first is number 3. Excess nutrients gets washed into lakes. And then algae grow. Okay, this one. And then number 1, Chinese books, and then the number 2, they feel that shit, and then why do we lack of oxygen? Why do we use fertilizers in agriculture to feed life to replace nutrients through nutrient loss through crop and livestock harvesting? In the soil, replace nutrients in the soil. A new golf course is built next to a river. Over the past several months, the nitrate levels of the water in the rivers have been increasing, which is of the following is likely a cause of the increasing nitrate level. Increased growth of bacteria, decreased biodiversity, fertilizer runoff from the full growth. I don't know what golf has to do with fucking fertilizers, bro. Which of the following can reduce putrefaction? Irrigating the fields more so the soil becomes waterlogged. Using larger quantities of fertilizers when growing crops. Growing, controlling the using of fertilizer, storing manual, and more securely. Irrigating the fields more so the soil becomes waterlogged. What the fuck does that mean? Use larger quantities of fertilizers when growing. I should. I'll get to performing photosynthesis. This causes the plant to die, and the bacteria that feed on the dead plant are called saprobiotic. And these bacteria increase in numbers. They use up the oxygen. I don't think I spelled any of this correct, bro. Low levels of oxygen. Goodbye. لا مستكبرا كأن last one come on bitch. Land deforestation and land use, how destroying forests and peat bogs affect the environment, how if this affects biodiversity. Quarrying, farming. Mm, okay, that's good, I think. My nigga, that's not even how the world map is. Why is Alaska like so fucking like crunched up? Why is a big ass hole in the middle of US? Why is like Yemen non-existent? UAE is not there, boys. Big ass fucking hole. Why is there a hole here? Why is there a hole here? Why is like Scandinavian countries like lopsided? Australia's pretty high. Why is India so thick? Where's Sri Lanka, my nigga? Madagascar. Okay. Cause you're in Mexico's alright. Like, it's alright. What the fuck is Canada's up here, bro? Why is Europe so like messed up, man? What is the shape? United Kingdom. This Middle East shit messed up as well. Increasing local, increase local. Contribute global warming. It's fucked up, I can't lie. Reduces biodiversity. Pa, nigga. Why is nigga just holding it with his hand, bro? Like no gloves, none, bro. Fuck no, I still didn't watch the video. The water stops the air integration. The water stops the air integrating into the soil. Not enough oxygen for aerobic respiration. For the bacteria. Wait. That's a good thing. What is the closest? What is the closest thing to Khawarij in the modern day? It's like these motherfuckers in the. It's not Khawarij. What are the ones in the uh Amman called, nigga? Sex in Amman. Ibadis. Which increases the carbon dioxide release. That's very, very bad. Was the force in the planting of trees? Which of the following human activities does not reduce the amount of land available for plants and animals? Wait, so does not reduce. So uh oh yeah, reduce land. Fuck my bad. I don't even know what quarrying is. I kinda like gives a reason for deforestation. More city and towns, more farming space. Uh use logging. So logging. So using wood to build or burn shit. Wow, what the fuck is agriculture, nigga? Okay, yeah, farms. Mining, fuck it, I'll let it slide. There will be fewer trees carrying out photosynthesis and absorbing carbon dioxide from the. This means that there's more carbon dioxide contributing to global warming. Deforestation often involves uh, burning bitches, trees, which release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This destroys animals' habitats. This reduces biodiversity. Which two of the following describes the soil of peat bogs as acidic and waterlogged? Do peat bogs have high or low levels of oxygen? They have low. Shows water, so there's no space for air. Do peat bogs have higher or lower levels of oxygen? Yes, they do. They have. Ooh, what the? There's not very much. Oh yeah, my bad. I remember. Do peat bogs decay organic matter more or less than normal soils? Fuck it. Decomposition requires aerobic bacteria, so the lack of oxygen reduces the do peat bogs decay organic matter more or less than normal soils? Do peat bogs act as carbon? Yes, they do. Nice, nigga. Okay. Many areas of peat bogs have been destroyed, which to mathematically contribute to peat bog destruction. Storing carbon dioxide. Cutting out the peat to burn as fuel. Yeah, production they need the peat to use as another fact. Explain how getting peat bogs contributes to global warming. Prevents it from absorbing carbon dioxide, hence letting more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. What the fuck is even uh draining uh beatbox, bitch? Oh, I thought I had to give three reasons. Wait, so I have to fully explain. Okay, okay, okay. I just realized I had. I thought I had. Drying up, draining. My bad. Draining peat logs increases the dry mass in the peat bogs, hence allowing, hence releasing carbon dioxide. Draining water allows air and oxygen to return to the soil. With the drainage of water allows air. What fucking mean, bro? Yes. Right now, I'm learning about this deforestation. Fuck, I shouldn't even go to the biology. Right now, I'm wait. Right now, I'm studying uh deforestation and peat bogs. Okay, there's one statement I genuinely cannot get through my head, but I want you to explain it to me. It's IGCSE Adexal Biology, and here it is. The drainage of water. First, the question. I will tell you the question. Explain how draining peat bogs contributes to global warming. The answer is the draining of water allows air and oxygen to return to the soil. This allows microorganisms to carry out aerobic respiration and degrade the organic matter. This releases CO2, which acts as a greenhouse gas and contributes to global warming. I don't know what the fuck that means. What does any of that mean? Like, I don't get the process. I just can't think of it. Like, my head isn't working right now for some reason. Now, air, oxygen gets in. But doesn't plants take in carbon dioxide or do they release carbon dioxide? But doesn't plant take during the day when there's sunlight, plant takes in CO2 for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis how plant makes food use CO2 plus water to make glucose, sugar, and oxygen. So during the day, plants are like CO, they sucking it from the air. Remember, it's carbon dioxide plus water, glucose plus oxygen, same as CO2 plus H2O is T6H12O6 plus O2 all time, day and night. Plants also do respiration, just like animals. Respiration is how they get was the process releases CO2, just like the breathing. In the day, plants absorb more CO2 than they release at the night. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Just market correct, but can't be asked. Burning fossil fuels is bad, but this doesn't. Do pea books have higher or low levels of exposure as compared to normal? So they have lower because they are filled with fucking water. Do peat plants decay organic water less? Less. Oh, okay, now it's making sense. Alhamdulillah, I'm unit 9. It only takes not 4 minutes. Fuck, I'm gonna start tomorrow. It's been a good stream, 1 hour 41 minutes, but then 1 hour 41 minutes of actually